Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Middletown High School, National Academy of Finance graduation. Tonight we get to celebrate students who have really chosen to do something very different. Students who have said that we won't just settle with a regular diploma. We want to do more. We want to look different from our counterparts. So please, stand as I introduce our Academy graduates. Followed by Project Lead the Way Biomedical Sciences, escorted by their teachers. Project Lead the Way Engineering, escorted by their teachers. The Academy of Information Technology, escorted by their teachers. And last but certainly not least, our Cisco Academy, escorted by their teachers. I want to take this time to welcome everybody. Please, welcome to all. We're very happy to have you because we want to celebrate this very special moment. As we look at our students, we see their glowing eyes, and we see how excited they are. And we can remember them walking as freshmen and how eager they were. And these are students who have chosen to do additional work. We're super excited about taking on college credits early. So tonight we celebrate you guys. A round of applause for our graduates. With them, we have the teachers who inspire them, the teachers who work hard with them and always try to give them the best education possible. But really, the teachers who never give up on any of these students, because it's not easy and it's never easy. So could the teachers please rise for a round of applause? And congratulations to you, the family. You have done such a hard work. You've done so much to get your students to this point. So congratulations to you as well. On our stage, we have our special guests. And I'm going to go ahead and introduce everybody on the stage going from left to right. In the front row is Mr. Craig Filippini. He's our keynote speaker for tonight. And we'll speak about him just a little bit more. We have our superintendent, Mr. Del Moro. Mr. Del Moro, give us a welcome noise. Next to Mr. Del Moro is our president of the board, Mr. John Perino. And a board member, Mr. Vince Casenzo. Vice President of the Board of Education, Mr. John Williams. And our Assistant Superintendent, Mr. Michael Tuttle. In the front row is one lady who's no stranger to anybody, and is our principal, Ms. Tracy Sorrentino. And the row in the back is some of the hardest working people that I've ever had the privilege to work with, and is our administrative staff for the high school. Starting from left, instructional leader for at-risk and student support is Mrs. Lauren Dar. Instructional Leader for Humanities, Mr. William Donahue. Instructional Leader for SPED, Ms. Rachel Coons. Honorary Dean, Ms. Karina Acevedo. Mr. Dwayne Whitaker. Ms. Holly Marcolino. Mr. Omar Perez. And Mr. Anthony Williams. I'll take this time to introduce Ms. Laurendar.
Good evening, everyone. Can I please ask you to rise for the presentation of our colors performed by the Middletown High School NJROTC Color Guard.
Forward, colors. Forward, march.
Please remain standing for the playing of our national anthem.
Hello and good evening, everyone. I would like to call up Mr. Richard Del Moro, Superintendent of Schools, to give our welcoming remarks.
Good evening, everyone. To the senior students from the Academy of Finance, Informational Technology, our engineering, our CISCUS programs, and our biomedical programs, and our parents, grandparents, guardians, and friends, as well as our faculty. This is always a special evening, an event that usually precedes our graduation ceremony in a few days. And it's with great pleasure to welcome all of you to this event. It's a visible sign of the achievements of these 43 students here tonight who chose in their area of specialization to go through a more rigorous, a more demanding program than most of the students here at the high school. The thing that one may ask themselves is, why would one choose this? Why would one want to do this extra work. And here tonight is an example of what is right with the Middletown Public Schools, and in particular this high school. Why did they choose these programs? Why are these programs so successful? These are many questions people ask themselves, right? Why did they choose to have this rigorous program? Why are they going in the summers for their authentic internships? These are all contributing factors to the success of this program. But most of all, I believe that this program is successful because of the students here tonight. Their passion, their strength, their inner strength, all of these contribute to their success that is evident here tonight as they celebrate the end culminating activity, this graduation ceremony to their programs over the course of 4 years. Students, you have chosen to be part of the challenging program, and that decision, and for that, I congratulate you for your courage, the courage, as Mr. Norville had mentioned, Conald, that to separate yourself from the comfort zones of your friends, to put down those video games for a moment or two, and to be involved in such a program or programs that really challenge you, that go beyond just normal, traditional type of learning, that really ask what's inside you to push you forward. I trust all the lessons that you have learned and gleaned from these programs will bring success in your future lives, whatever decision you choose to make. You have brought a positive recognition to this high school, to the community, to you, and importantly, for everyone to know about your family, how you were seen as very integral parts of the success of this program, learning from your family days growing up. I'm very, very proud of you. So on behalf of the Board of Education, the faculty, staff at Middletown High School, I wish you continued good fortune and look forward to your leadership as you move forward in this country to new heights. Congratulations again, and enjoy the rest of this evening. We are very, very proud of you as you set the mark high for the next generation coming through. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Del Moro. I get the opportunity to introduce our keynote speaker. So for every year, we try to get somebody who can really inspire us, but somebody who understands the walk and the path that you've taken. This year especially, I'm super excited to introduce this keynote speaker because he connects so much of what we do, whether it's engineering, biomed, and information technology. But he merges all the worlds together. He's a very unique speaker in that sense. So here goes. I'm going to try my very best to kind of give you a summary of who he is, so as he comes up, you can understand a little bit more about him. So our keynote speaker is Mr. Craig Filippini. He's a graduate of Washingtonville High School. We will forgive him for that. He's now part of our Middletown family, because he's the husband of Miss Brooke Filippini, who's sitting in the front row right here. Mr. Filippini, before he takes the podium, I'm going to summarize just a few of his accomplishments. He's worked for 20 years in business and IT management. He currently serves as the Associate Chief Information Officer for the Greater Hudson Valley Health System, where they provide health care to nearly 450,000 residents in Orange, Sullivan, and Ulster counties. These services are provided by more than 3,300 employed professionals and over 850 medical members. This makes his organization one of the largest healthcare providers in the Tri-County area. In his role, Craig Filippini is responsible for the information technology and communication departments. He has helped his organization to become only the second hospital in New York State to achieve the HIMSS Stage 7 certification, symbolizing the highest level of electronic health record adoption, as well as being named one of the healthcare's most wired hospitals. Prior to joining the Greater Hudson Valley Health System, Craig worked for SRS Soft, an electronic health record company, for 12 years, 7 as their chief information officer. During his tenure, he helped to grow the organization's client base from 500 to over 6,000 healthcare providers across the United States. He was the platform architect for their cloud electronic healthcare record solution, transforming them from a local client server configuration to a fully hosted solution. And our Cisco people will surely understand that. He also served as the chairman of their technical advisory board. So you wonder, what could have prepared Mr. Filippini for this kind of success? Well, let's start with that a little bit. Craig earned his associate's degree in information technology with honors from SUNY Orange. He then went on to do his BA in information technology, which he earned with honors from Mount St. Mary College, and then followed by doing his MBA. He holds not 1, not 2, but over a dozen technical certifications, some of which includes enterprise administration, system engineer, database administrator, network administrator, IT service management, and the list goes on. I am so proud to introduce Mr. Craig Filippini, a member of our Middletown family. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Mr. Norville. I have no idea who that person is, but he sounds great. Thank you so much for inviting me here today. I really appreciate it. And thank you for allowing me the privilege of taking a few minutes to talk to you guys. You know, when I was approached about that, I said, absolutely. I mean, hearing about the things that you guys are doing is truly exceptional for me. So, you know, there's 3 things that are inescapable in your lives, as you're going to find: death, taxes, and change. So the first 2 are far too depressing to talk about tonight to you guys, so I just want to talk to you for a little bit, if you'll allow me, about change. You know, change, as a wise man once said, is the one thing that will be a constant for you throughout your life. It's something that will stay with you, and I could just imagine the change that you guys have experienced now just getting to this point, and it is truly, truly magnificent. Change washes away the old. You know, it makes room for the new. So everything that you guys are going through, as one door closes for you, as you leave here and you move on, you know, to whatever you're going to do in the future, another opportunity is going to open up for you. You know, as I look at you, think about my own changes that I've gone through my life. You know, some of you may have come up here from the city. My parents moved up here from Brooklyn in the 70s. So before I was even born, they made the decision for me, right? My first change, to have me come up here and sacrifice leaving the city, coming up to this community, so I could have a better life, you know? It wasn't easier for them. You know, as you get here tonight, you know, just make sure that the sacrifice that your parents and your family and the folks that are here for you, make sure that stays with you, and make sure you take it with you. As some of you might be able to relate to, my parents didn't have a lot of money growing up, you know? Neither of them went to college. They weren't fortunate enough. You know, my mother made the sacrifice of staying home and raising my brother and I. In the meantime, my father was diagnosed with cancer when I was 1 year old, something he would fight with for the rest of his life. He spent the next 23 years from this community commuting back down to the city. Like clockwork, he was out the door at 5 a.m. I would wait for him, and he would come home on the train, and he would come into the house at 7:30 that night. It would give me just barely enough time to spend the time to see him, say hello, catch up on the day's events before he had to go up and do it the next day. You know, vacations, we never went on them. We couldn't afford it anyway. On the weekends, other kids were going places. My father was getting ready to go to work at his weekend job at a local delivery agency over here in Campbell Hall. He worked 7 days a week, so we could always have food on the table and clothes on our backs. You know, watching him taught me the value of hard work, and hopefully your parents watching them has taught you the same. Still, my brother and I, we had a normal childhood. We played, we went to school, and of course we got into trouble. But unlike you all today, computers didn't exist in everyday life. You know, although I could never afford when I was in school, At my graduation, I was able to win a few $100s at a raffle. So picture that now. So here you are, you're at your graduation, and you're playing basketball in the gym. Teachers are calling you, they're saying, please come down to the office. You don't hear them. So all of a sudden a teacher comes in and they say, we want you to come see Mrs. Sorrentino. You figure you're in trouble. So you head down to you take the walk of shame down to the principal's office. And you think you're in trouble. Instead, my principal handed me a check for a couple of $100s. So with that, I bought my first computer right over here in Middletown in the Galleria. And from that day I was hooked, and I knew two things. I knew I wanted to work with technology for the rest of my life, and I knew I couldn't afford to go to college. So think about that for a moment. Here I was, not even owning a computer, and you guys had the incredible opportunity provided to you here by the Middletown teachers in the community to work on engineering, biomedical, financial accounting, and of course, computer network equipment. Some of you already have industry-level certifications, and some of you are even going in with college credit, leaving high school. A certain CIO that I know didn't have his first certification until he was in his mid-20s. You guys are already miles ahead of me from where I was. And you've all had the chance to get on with some amazing technology. So as for me, I spent a few years working locally and saving up while getting prepared for school. I knew I was ready when I met my then bride-to-be, Brooke, who is here this evening. And as Norville mentioned, Brooke is an English teacher over at Twin Towers Middle School and has been for the past 15 years. So even though I did graduate from Washingtonville, Mr. Delmore, I remain a grateful part of the Mitty family. But at that time, we both embraced life's change, and we went off to school. Went to SUNY Orange right here in Middletown. And let me just say, if any of you have the opportunity to go there, what a tremendous institution that is, and what a wonderful education we both had there. Another great community. After that, Brooke went on. She went on to SUNY New Paltz. I went on to the Mount, and we both completed our bachelor's. So while she began teaching in Middletown, I started out working for the New York Daily News as a network architect. Until change led me to join a small but growing electronic health record software company in New Jersey. When I started, there were less than 20 employees. I knew I wanted to help people. I knew that would be my mission, and I believe the company's mission of improving patient care, so I joined. I also got a little lucky, as we all do, as the HR software company was about to boom. But I followed my heart, I worked hard, and within 3 years, I was promoted from manager to director. This is where I started to realize how closely IT, finance, engineering are all linked together. You can't get one without the other. And that's why, even as an IT graduate, I decided to go on for my MBA. Some of you who are graduating with finance will find yourselves thrust into the IT world. So it's 100% interlinked. And it's so great to have it all together under one umbrella. After finishing my MBA, I was promoted to Chief Information Officer. As Norval mentioned, I held that position for 7 years. So everything was going great until one particularly stressful evening. I found myself heading home from work from Jersey, and I was thinking about my father and how he ultimately lost his battle with cancer a short time back. I looked at the clock and realized it was right around 7:30 when my own father used to walk in the door. I realized I'd been missing out on a major part of my own children's lives who were here tonight. And I knew it was time to seek change once again. So a short time later, I was fortunate enough to have an opportunity to continue my mission of helping others. I was able to join the Greater Hudson Valley Health System, which is the Orange Regional Hospital here in Middletown, and Catskill Regional up in Sullivan. I was able to come back to Middletown. I was able to come back to the community and have a chance to speak with you here this evening. So as I end with you here today, don't be afraid of change. Like some of you, I had a very modest beginning. I urge you to seek out change, embrace the school and the community that was able to provide you with all the wonderful opportunities you've had here. Take this time, of course, to appreciate what you've accomplished and give back if you can. Help those who come after you to achieve tomorrow what you were fortunate enough to achieve here today. But don't accept or make change for change's sake. Look at every opportunity as it comes and decide with your heart what you want to do. Your heart will never steer you wrong, I promise. Some great examples of change, just to bring up. In the last 10 years, people with internet access increased by almost 3 billion people. Just think about that. Online retail sales have surpassed traditional department store sales. Amazon is now worth $135 billion and owns no brick-and-mortar stores. It's worth more than Sears, JCPenney, Dick's Sporting Goods, Best Buy, and Home Depot combined. Uber, you're all familiar with Uber, is now worth $72 billion, and they own no cars. Airbnb is going public this year, an estimated value of $120 billion, and they own no hotels. By the way, in comparison, Marriott, the hotel chain, is worth $45 billion. So you could all be on the verge of the next major change. And I know that one day one of you will be here giving your own speech, and just imagine what wonderful changes would all have happened by then. So may God bless you and look over you. May you find all the success in the days to come that far exceeds even what you've accomplished here today. But for today now, it's almost time for you to party. So thank you and good night.
Just want to say thank you to Mr. Filippini for coming and giving us that, very inspiring speech, and really just some of those statistics are amazing, outstanding. Just how important technology is, but also how important finance is. Our Academy of Finance program is designed for students planning on pursuing future study or careers in the field of finance. Students enrolled in the Academy of Finance take specialized courses in entrepreneurship, consumerism, communication, accounting, and business law. Within these courses, students are taught how to work collaboratively as a member of a team to effectively communicate their message and other skills essential for careers in business and finance. I would like to call up and recognize the following: Connor Guattari, Marvin Mungo, and I would also like to take the opportunity to recognize a few students that could not be with us tonight: Daisy Ann Norman and Charles Silvignoli. Thank you.
We'll now recognize our Project Lead the Way Biomedical Sciences. And we're going to ask the teachers of the Project Lead the Way, Mrs. Martha Brunell, Mrs. Karen Harkins, and Mrs. Laura Calvin, to join us on stage as we congratulate our graduates. Project Lead the Way Biomedical Sciences. Well, we're at the cutting edge of so many medical breakthroughs. Different treatments for cancer, diabetes, asthma. We see medical technology being infused in all the hospitals. That's what Project Lead the Way Biomed is all about. It's that it's cutting edge. It's different ways to treat old illnesses. But it gives its students an opportunity to experience in a very hands-on way. So these students who are aspiring nurses and physician assistants and biomedical engineers and doctors and veterinary scientists, all these students are getting the opportunity to really feel and touch what the career is like. And that's what we provide for them each day. So now we'll get the opportunity to actually call our students to the stage. Juliana Amalberg. Andrea Cortez. Sarah Cruz. Alejandra Escrivales. Bukala Fernandez. Angie Flores. Janelle Hamilton. Michael Heredia. Andrea Moro. Michael Rivera. Christian Rodriguez. Rokia Sangari. Last but not least, Julian Vargas Rivera. Thank you so much. And that's our biomedical graduates. To recognize our Project Lead the Way engineering students, I'm going to ask our department chair, Mrs. L. O'Connor, teacher, Mr. Sean Sweetster, and Mr. John Follinsby to join us on stage. Project Lead the Way engineering gives our students an opportunity to explore real-world engineering solutions to real-world problems. So our students, whether they're doing design and development, whether they're doing 3D printing, or it's digital electronics, where they get a full experience of engineering and how the engineering science can be used to make this world a better place. They get opportunity to build, to create hands-on solution, some of which may even be patented from this year's STEM night. So we look forward to that. So please join me as I welcome our Project Lead the Way engineering students. Our first graduate will be Jason Albanese. Isaiah Bodie. Asia. Sorry. Asia Bodie. I apologize. Makai Brown. Michaela Bolson. Elisha Hodges. Caitlin Irizarry. David Menzies. Brianna Posey. Jesus Rodriguez. Tyler Schaefer. Jacob Towell. And last, certainly not least, Jordan Washington. Thank you.
Next, we would like to recognize our students from the Academy of Information Technology, and I'd like to ask the following teachers to please join me on stage. Miss L. O'Connor, Mr. John Pecora, Miss Chrissy Moralia, Miss Jennifer Adams Brazil, and Miss Joelle Price. Thank you. Our Academy of Information Technology is designed to develop our students in the areas of computers, in which the virtual world is becoming the dominant place for business and social interactions. Students in the Academy of Information Technology become savvy in the area of web design, networking, programming, and graphic design. These skills prepare our students for career opportunities as web designers, system engineers, IT service managers, and enterprise, network, and database administrators, and even chief information officers. We'd like to recognize the following students: Ahmad Black, Kabir Burgos, Christian Garcia, Trevor Klink, Matthew Almeida, and Kenneth Ramirez.
And to wrap up the evening, I'd like to recognize our Cisco Networking Academy, which is designed to develop our students in the area of computer technology. There is a growing need for experts who are skilled in networking, maintaining, troubleshooting, and setting up technological devices. This demand has opened many career opportunities, and our program is designed to prepare students that will graduate as certified technicians in these fields. In the Cisco Networking Academy, students are exposed to real-world design labs, hands-on hardware, and rich theory. Our graduates have the skills and certifications to pursue post-secondary studies in computer science and qualify for entry-level industry positions such as service technicians, IT specialists, system administrators, IT network support, desktop support, and network engineers. I would like to recognize our following faculty advisors for, helping our students: Joelle Price and Mrs. L. O'Connor. And now for our graduates. First up, Audrey Alexander. Alexander Aquino. Kabir Burgos. Matilda Knapp. Jaquan Madden. Antonio Martinez. Antonio Matos. Crystal Moisette. Tyshawn Moody. Matthew Almeida. Kenneth Ramirez. And last, but certainly not least, Charles Vasquez.
Thank you. I'd like to ask Ms. Tracy Sorrentino, principal of Middletown High School, to come up for our closing remarks for the evening.
Good evening. To my students, incredibly proud. We do this again in 8 days. Go out and craft your future. To all of our families and to our special guests and our building district level administration, I thank you. Enjoy your night. Please join us for refreshments in the lobby. Thank you so much.